My name is Kai, and I'm in recovery from drugs and alcohol. I knew it was time to make a change or get some help because physically, I did not have a home. All I had was my vehicle, my car, and the clothes on my back. Actually, no, I didn't even have a car by the end. I had been to rehab a few times already, but this last time, I didn't even have a car. I sold my car. I sold my car to get high. If that says anything, I've sold physical possessions. I've sold dressers, couches. I even sold my bed to sleep on the floor when I did have an apartment until I lost that and I was homeless. Sleeping on couches, sleeping in my car. And then when I didn't have a car anymore, I had no choice but to go to detox. Physically, I was not doing well. I didn't weigh nearly as much as I weigh now. So I was gaunt, physically just unwell, unhealthy, mentally, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and didn't want to be around anymore. I didn't think that I was worth living. I didn't think that I was worth recovery or being employed or having a relationship or any career. I was unemployable and emotionally just a wreck. I didn't have any empathy for myself or others. I didn't care about things. I had no self respect. I had no motivation, no energy, no creative hobbies or goals or anything like that. So emotionally, I was gone. And spiritually, just no faith in anything, no faith in myself, no faith in any sort of higher power, and just no faith that things would get better because it took me 11 years to get 2 years. I've been to 7 treatment centers. And this last time, just enough was enough. And I keep going to my meetings and I keep doing the things that keep me clean and sober. The last times, every other relapse before, I've stopped doing the things that work or help. And this time is different. I keep going to meetings. I keep doing like the steps and all that stuff that helps for me. Yeah, I just knew it was time, 30 years old when I got clean this time. And I finally said enough was enough. So if I can do it, so can you. No matter how many years I've been in and out for, it doesn't matter. Fall 7, rise 8 is my motto. And that's a real Buddhist parable or whatever quote. And it's ironic because I have been to rehab 7 times. So I'll be damned if I don't get up an eighth time. So my life now compared to before I started my recovery journey, first of all, just on the surface, I just want to share that I have my own apartment. And that for me is huge because I never thought I would be a person who is self sufficient enough to live alone and be able to handle the responsibilities of everyday life. I can go to the grocery store when I'm hungry. I can go to the gym when I need to let out some steam. And I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have a curfew. I don't have to take a drug screen. I don't have to show up to court or show up at the DMV or things like that for a restricted license or anything like that. I'm legal. I'm on paper. I'm a productive member of society. I pay my taxes. I'm not selling belongings to pay for drugs or alcohol today. Physically, I'm so much healthier. I am at a healthy weight. I have a good cardiovascular system. I like to exercise and run, and I'm healthy. I can breathe. I have an appetite today. I can eat. I can sleep at night. I don't struggle with restless legs and insomnia and all that stuff that I struggled with for years when I was using and drinking. I get to chase my dreams. I get to be a creative musician and comedian and make people laugh and make people cry and show up for other people and just be useful to others. I wasn't useful to anybody before I got into recovery. I might have been useful to the person who was supplying me with my drugs, but like now I'm useful to people who are just now getting clean and who need assistance or need help or need advice or even need a ride to a meeting or a job interview. I'm somebody people can count on. My family members can count on me and they can call me and they can confide in me with things that are troubling them. That used to never be the case. It's crazy because when I was in treatment, we used to pass this apartment building every day on the way to group. And I would look up at the building from the van And I would just say, I'll never be able to be a person that has a place like that or be able to be self sufficient enough to be a adult who has his own place. And now I live in the building that I used to look up at from the street right over there. It's pretty surreal. I don't have everything I want because I never will have everything I want because I believe I have the disease of more, but I have everything I need. I have food in my fridge, I have clothes on my back, shelter, and then I have a little bit of extra things. I can go to see a comedy show when I want. I can go visit family when I want. I can take PTO from work if I need to go to a doctor's appointment instead of just leaving or not showing up. I'm just useful. I'm dependable. I'm reliable for other people. And I'm not going to pretend like life is amazing and I have no problems because I still do. Life shows up. I'm still human. But I'm able to attack those problems with a healthy solution instead of numbing myself and neglecting a job or getting fired because I didn't wake up in time or because I was sick. I don't have to lie. I can be honest. I can be vulnerable, share my feelings. I can have a little bit of humility, which means thinking of myself less. I can be humble and think of myself less today, and I can think of other people, which is beautiful because when I was in active addiction, it was just all about me. I was a victim. You don't know how bad I have it. If you had my problems, you would get high too. But that's not what it's like today. Everybody has problems, and I have empathy for other people. I have self awareness today. When I'm having a hard time, I'll dive in deep to the program and meditate and call people and go to meetings and do what I got to do. So it's possible, guys. So, what I did to help set me up on the path for recovery is first and foremost, I had to stop using and drinking. So, what that looked like for me was going to a detox. And I stayed at a detox for about 7 days. First week or so, jitters, withdrawals, all those symptoms were there, but I had to be free of the drugs and alcohol first. I had to get them out of my system. After they were out of my system, I was fortunate enough to attend a long term treatment center, which I did for over a year. During that time, I dove headfirst into the clinical side of things, the therapy, the groups, the mindfulness. I learned meditation techniques and coping skills. I also got really involved in the 12 step recovery program. I actually got a sponsor early on and started working steps. I picked up a service commitment at my home group. A home group is a meeting that I attend regularly once a week. I was a greeter. I've been a coffee maker. Now I'm doing things like bringing meetings to hospitals and institutions where they can't have access to regular meetings. I built a network, which I still have a strong network of guys. We actually just went out this morning to breakfast after a meeting. So, surrounding myself with like minded individuals who quote unquote speak the same language and know what it's like and have been through it. And I'm a heterosexual male, so I choose to surround myself with heterosexual men in recovery. Now, that's not the same for everybody. There's definitely different strokes for different folks, but that's just what I need and what I do. I stay active, I stay healthy, I stay fit as possible. I try to get as close to 8 hours a night of sleep as I can. I try to eat healthy for the most part. I take melatonin for sleep. I don't take any pharmaceuticals or any drugs that are not prescribed by a doctor. I have taken sleep meds like trazodone that were prescribed by a doctor before. So, in my opinion, my experience, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as I'm not taking anything that was not prescribed with me, then I feel pretty good about it. I like to journal regularly. I do a nightly inventory. I just write down what I did well that day, what I could have improved on that day, anything that I'm grateful for, any goals for tomorrow. I get all that out of my head so I can go to sleep peacefully with a sound mind. Hobbies too. I really like to have clean hobbies. I like to do comedy, play guitar, I like to go to the sauna, I like to jump in a cold plunge, create using my left brain a lot. It's healthy for me. It's a good outlet. And I just stay plugged in one day at a time. I wake up and I try to pray and meditate every day and try to hit a meeting, try to make some phone calls. And yeah, I'm just trying to stay on the path. So, yeah, what I've learned that's allowed me to stay in recovery is that it gets better. I don't think life necessarily gets easier, but I do know from experience that I get better at life. I get better at handling difficult situations because life still shows up for me. I still have to wake up early and go to a job and pay my taxes and deal with grief and death and breakups and stress at work and romantic relationships. I've learned that as long as I stay clean, I have a shot. I have a chance at a better life because the alternative, if I put drugs and alcohol on my problems, it's just going to be so much worse. So yeah, I mean, I've just learned that life, I get better. It doesn't always necessarily get easier, but life also gets better too. I have opportunities today. I have opportunities to help people and be there for people. I didn't used to have those opportunities. Giving away what was so freely given to me is one of the greatest gifts of my recovery, being able to help other people through what I've been through. And I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about what I like, what I don't like, what I believe in, what I might not believe in. And I'm becoming a productive member of society. I'm employable. I'm trustworthy. I'm loyal. People can count on me. Family members can count on me who used to not even want me at their Christmas. It's a big deal. Yeah, I've just learned that if I stay clean and I do the work, then I get better and I'm able to show up for people and be there for them. So, some advice that I would give to someone experiencing the same challenges as me. First of all, give yourself a break. It's hard, but realize that you're just human and humans make mistakes and we fall short all the time. So, give yourself a break. Be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a loved one, whether that be a parent, a grandparent, a niece, a nephew, a child, a romantic partner. Think of someone who you love dearly and would do anything for. Speak to yourself like you would speak to them. Gentle, with compassion, with understanding, with forgiveness, with kindness. And then action, get to work. I would take some steps to improve your life. First of all, physically, because we need to be here in order to make progress. So I would get off of what you need to, whether that be drinking or drugging. For me, it was a detox, and then it was a rehab center, and then it was meetings. So become abstinent, get the drugs and alcohol out of your system, do a medical detox if you need to. So get everything out of your system and then find a safe space to recover and rest your head every night. It might be a 30-day program, 60-day program, might be like me, it was a year-long program. Doing whatever it takes. Along with that, I would suggest healthy sleep. Try to get anywhere between 7 to 9 hours a night if you can. Try to minimize the stress in your life. If there's a job that's killing you, stressing you out to the bone, find a new job maybe. Talk with someone, a mentor, and see if it'd be a good fit for you to do that. Seek professional help, professional guidance, because again, humans can fall short and it's okay to ask for help. There are people out there who do know and do have our best interests at heart. You can seek professional help from a mentor, a therapist, a sponsor, a parent, a family member, a doctor. I would suggest that you find some hobbies, things that you like to do, things that fill your spirit. Find creative outlets, whether you like to paint or dance or sing or write. The opportunities are endless once you get sober and clean. So, creative hobbies are huge. Physical exercise really boosts the endorphins in my system for me. With drugs, I was using to fill a void, fill a hole that I had. Mental health issues, particularly anxiety and things like that. When I did the drugs, they gave me dopamine hits and endorphins. So now I just substitute those with running and with exercise and yoga and riding a bike and going for walks in the sun and nature. Be around some like minded individuals, people who lift you up, people who aren't going to kick you when you're down, people who love you unconditionally no matter what and want the best for you and want to help you. I'm a 12-step recovery guy and it saved my life. I have a men's meeting home group that I attend regularly. I love those guys. And community, that's the word. Community is huge for me. Having the community. of people. It's my family. It's my other family. So if you're on the fence about getting help and starting your own recovery journey, I'll say this. It can't hurt. It doesn't hurt to try, right? I would suggest try staying sober and clean for 6 months to a year. See if your life improves. And if it doesn't, the bars are always open. They will always be open. They will always be there. Try it. Um, and try to do something that you haven't done before. If you're listening to this, chances are that you might not be in the best place. And chances are also that things that you have already tried have not worked or not have been working. So it can't hurt to try something new, to ask for help. We say in meetings, we'll refund your misery if you're not happy in a year. I can almost promise that if you get sober and you connect with others and build a strong foundation and community, your life will improve. You might not become a rich millionaire or have the girl of your dreams or even have the job of your dreams, but peace of mind is at your doorstep if you allow it to come in. I have more peace than I've ever had. I don't have everything I want. I never will. I have the disease of more, but I do have everything I need today. And I already said that once, but it's true. I have problems in areas that I didn't even have areas in. Like, for example, with my car, I didn't have a car before. I stole my car to get high. Now I have a little chip of paint on my hood, going to be a couple $100s. That's okay. That's an area that I didn't have problems in before. I wasn't into physical exercise before I got into my recovery journey. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to do cycling or pickleball, things like that. Have fun. I have choices today. So just try it. Try to get uncomfortable. Try to find where you might belong. Try to find those people. Get comfortable being uncomfortable is what I was trying to say. Because I promise you, if you try this way of life for a year, you will be better off. If you're on the fence, it's like this. It's like if you're about to jump in a pool of water, the pool is going to be a little bit chilly. You're really only scared of the reaction to jumping in the water off the diving board. Once you're in the water, you're good. You're in there and it feels great. But it's that reaction, it's that thought of before jumping off, the jumping off point. So if you just jump in, it's not as bad as we think it is, as our minds tell us it is. That's where my disease lives. My disease lives in my mind. So I do things to ease that, even drinking chamomile tea and meditating at night with a candle, or taking a bath. Like, I never thought I was going to be a bath guy or enjoy cold plunges or saunas or talking to others, therapy. It changed me. I wasn't this person before. So I gave myself a chance. I gave myself a break. I took suggestions so hard because I'm stubborn, and anyone who tried to give me a suggestion, I look at them as an authority figure, and I always had problems with those types of people. But don't sell yourself short. Protect your peace at all costs. If there's someone in your life who's not serving your well-being, cut them out. How free do you want to be? Do you want to just be sober, or do you want to be fulfilled and sober? The choice is yours. It takes a little bit of work, but it never killed anybody. And I guarantee you, you'll be pleased with what you got. You might even get more than you bargained for.